Well, good morning guys. It's Sunday the 21st of October. It's supposed to be getting warmer, being spring, but boy, this weekend's been freezing. It was raining yesterday and we had we had some warm days last week, and it sort of lulled you into a false sense of security, that sort of t-shirt weather. I put that video up on YouTube, put video 15 up on YouTube on Friday night. And wow, thanks for all of your greetings and your welcome backs, because it has been a long time since I've done a video. You know, one of the guys, I can't remember, I just saw the comment this morning, I haven't replied to any of the comments that I've come across this morning, mentioned the bracket on the back of that power steering pump, an adapter bracket, and I knew it was an adapter bracket because I thought it would just be a generic type pump. So I'm not too sure if that pump was genuine, or it's an aftermarket sort of an add-on. Anyways, it was good to know he actually named the type of pump, and which I can't recall. But so thanks for that. That sort of cleared that up, because I was a bit curious about the pump itself, because I think one of my mates said that's non-standard, that pump, or non-genuine. And anyways, so it was good bit of feedback. Thanks for that. Well, this afternoon I've got to go up to Adam's. Up to the paint shop where Adam bought the spray booth from, and continue disassembling and loading that onto his ute and trailer and whatnot. That's going to be quite a big project, setting that spray booth up at his house. That's where I'm going to paint this car. So, and Adam's, such a cool dude that he said, bring it up, we'll do it, and I'm like, yeah, you're a good man. So that's really solved my big problem, was painting this car in this shed. As you can see, it's, there's gaps in the doors, it's just dust gets in and blows around and whatnot. It's not the best, certainly not a good environment to spray a body. You can spray bits and pieces, but certainly not a car body. So that's solved that problem. Gives me a lot more confidence now to actually get into the bodywork. As I'm cleaning these things down, I'm just, in my mind going through some of the things I've seen on TV and on YouTube recently, and one was Clarkson Island, a sort of a parody from a couple of English comedians called Harry and Paul, I think they are, and they do a Jeremy Clarkson sort of a skit. And they say Clarkson Island, and they farm Clarksons there, and one of the things is that they overlap one Clarkson, with the big curly hair, and they pause through every sentence, and it's very funny. And there's all types of Clarksons. There's a triple denim disaster Clarkson. There's a bald Clarkson that they call Slaphead. Yeah, it's on YouTube, and it's just called Clarkson Island. Been listening to a lot of music lately as well. Heavily into the Melvins, which is quite a heavy band in America. They've got a massive body of work. A lot of it I don't like, but there's a few standout songs, and it's all original music, of course. It's nothing, none of this. Oh, they do a few covers. They do an old Kiss cover. They do a cover from Kiss, and they do a cover from another band. Yeah. Okay, I've just polished up one of the power steering lines. This is one that has the little dent in it. Well, it was squashed, but I tapped it out, actually. But most of it came out outwards, which was good, but some of it stayed inwards. I've polished it up. I'm probably going to run with it rather than... I'll show you the little dent. It's just in there. It's folded, basically it bent it. but I've tapped it out and it's straightened it up, and it's probably only reduced the flow, I'm guessing, looking at it, maybe by about 30%. Now I'm reluctant to actually cut it through there and flange that, because you see there's a bit of shape on that which indicates that it's got to follow a certain trajectory, and if I just put a piece of hose from there, there's, I don't know, it might work, might not. What I'll do is I'll fit it as it is. I'm going to polish this, and then I'm going to polish it with this metal polish, which is lovely stuff, and that turns it almost mirror-like. And these things rust within a week, so what I'll do is I'll polish them, put some clear on them, and they'll look great. I did that on the XW, and they look fantastic. They actually look better than these, than the aftermarket ones that you can buy on eBay, and they stayed looking good, which was great. So I'll do that. I'll run this if it seems that the flow is too limited, or if I can hear the power steering pump sort of labouring. I'll just cut it through there and do what I was originally intending to do, but I'll give it a try, see if it works. G'day guys. It's pretty warm outside today. It was freezing on the weekend and now it's hot, so I'm tipping some people are going to get a cold. The intake manifold off the other 351, which I've got in the other shed, is a 4-barrel arrangement. I've got an adapter plate here. By the looks of things, it's an adapter plate for a Holly carb, so that's good. Yeah, so pretty exciting. This should come up well. I know it's hair raising. I'm going to tape it all up, and I'm going to put in the sandblaster. And the sandblaster top has been painted a few times, and there's rust and there's peeling paint. Yeah, I'm just going to sandblast it, give it a really good wash afterwards, and then see what it comes up like, eh? So as you can see now, it's pretty scruffy. So yeah, looking forward to this finished result. Came up really well. I put it in the sandblaster, which I was reluctant to do because it's an intake manifold, so if there's any bits of sand stuck in there, so I'm really trying to clean inside. If anyone's got any suggestions on how to make sure that there's no glass left in there, I'd be interested to hear, but I'm really cleaning it hard. Still needs to be polished. It's basically just been wire brushed. Come up really well. Got all of that old flaky paint off. I think I'm going to clear lacquer it because I really like that metallic look. And once you put the wire brush on there and polish it up, it just looks stunning. Gorgeous old day here. Grass is long, I'm going to need to cut that soon. I'd love to be in the shed working on the car, but just can't do it at the minute. I've got the machine home for about 4 or 5 days and getting it ready for the next job. So I've been replacing these rubber pads. As you can see, they delaminate and you're just left with the steel grouser plates. And steel on concrete, say you're on a sort of new concrete surface or a bitumen, it's not good. They leave lines and you get your ass kicked. So I've done one side already, brand new rubber pads. Quite expensive, about 33 bucks each, and there's 80 of them. It's taken me best part of about 3.5 to 4 hours to do that. It's slow going because you've got to clean once the pad comes off, you've got to clean all the rust and stuff off the plate so that the new one bolts up nice and tight. So it's quite time consuming. And anyway, so that's where we are. It looks really good. We use stainless steel cap nuts because they can be removed and the bolt underneath remains in perfect condition, which means that you can take the pads off, take the grouser, because you've got to take the pad off to take the grouser plate off to give it the chain. So if you need to replace the chains, if the chains ever wear out, which they do,
You're not supposed to actually oil change, but I give them a squirt just now and then, just to see our WD-40. I need to say that when you arrive on site, the thing's not squeaky, and you sort of, everyone looks at the machine, all it's nice and quiet, and there you go. So just having a good fun bogan afternoon, drinking a couple of cans, and there's all the feet there. There's the old ones there. I'm going to take them up to the recycle bin and throw them in there. Got some in there. Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Well, good morning, guys. It's Monday the 19th of November, so it's been, geez, the best part of 2 or 3 weeks since I've been out in the shed here. First thing I'm going to do is clean up. Everything's covered in grease, all my tools, everything's dirty. I've got a few nuts and bolts there that I need to send off to Vinnie's for electroplating. But pretty much I'm calling it. It's time to start that body. So anything that's half finished, I'm just going to quickly finish off. Anything that's not finished, like steering wheel, other bits and pieces, anything to do with the aircon, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave till after the car's painted. So that's really where we are. Bit of a nightmare, but I'm stuck in this bloody, rut, and I've got to get out of it. I've got to do that car. I've got to do the body and get it sorted. Wire up some nuts and bolts there. I've got nuts and bolts for the brackets, engine brackets, all the bolt-on stuff. So I'm sending that down. I'm actually going to get them silver zinced, not gold, because the theme of the motor is black and silver. I think that's right. I was thinking that was the top. Sorry, that was the top, but obviously it's not. I cleaned them all up and polished them. Polished these stainless steel bands. It all looks very nice. Put a bit of masking tape around here months ago to paint these black, just so I didn't want to get that overspray on the wires. course I should have taken it off sort of straight away. Now, I've got a seal issue. Crappy old seals. Beautiful. It's like a glove. You have to watch out, they have to be located in the back of the light as well. The last one wasn't located very well. ZF tail light. All polished up. Looking nice. They look really, really good. Nice. So that is it. Got our little gaskets around the back for our holes in the tailgate. Got our nice gold nuts on there, ready to go. And she's all polished up and looking great. Black painted, that's epoxy, the 2-pack around there. And yeah, I just gave them a polish on the wire wheel, on the buffing wheel. Beautiful. I had a great day yesterday in the shed. It's all clean and I managed to get everything that was finished inside. Finished off quite a bit of stuff, took some stuff down to the zinc people. So I don't know if you can see, I've painted that silver, that line silver in the 2-pack, so that's nice and hard. I painted that a few months ago. You just have to mask that off. Pretty time consuming. The reason why I'm respraying this, because this Argent Grey was a different product, and I've just pulled the tape off, and it's taken a heap of the As you can see, it's pretty time consuming, but the result should be spectacular. There's the lightning. I remember when I worked at Nissan, she's back in 1986, 87, there was a room full of ladies, and they were all like little artists. They had, you know, the chains on the glasses, you know, the chains and whatnot, and they had little sort of scalpels, and they used to mask up the dashboards. There's a little department, and it was quite amazing, because you know, they were real artists really, and they would mask off the dashboard, probably doing one every 5 minutes or something like that, you know, but you know, this is going to take me hours to mask off. G'day guys, well, jeepers, more procrastination. Today is Sunday the 2nd of December 2018. Yeah, this little dashboard has been kicking me out of the shed. I knew it was going to be a pain in the butt to mask up, and but it's the last thing. This is the last thing I have to do before I start onto the body, and that's it. So as you can see, I've masked off all of the instrument lights. There's a little tiny little silver, metallic silver strip which I've masked off. All around here is masked. It's actually a work of art. So the first colour that's going to go down is the Argent Grey, the dark Argent, and that's I think it's a 2-pack. No, it's not. It's just a base coat. So I've got to apply that, let it dry completely, and then I've got to clear it. But I don't want to. I'm trying to match these are going to be in black, these corners here, that and that, because as you can remember, the dashboard cover, the crash pad, has got black which goes down there, so they have to be in black. So I don't want to paint those in clear. I've got a nice matte black for that to sort of try and match the vinyl. So yeah, so I don't want to put clear on that because it'll make it all glossy.
I was just mixing up the paint. I thought I was recording, but obviously not. So I'm mixing up the Argent Grey at the moment, which is a gorgeous colour. Classic Ford sort of thing. So I've gone for 90 grams of paint. Spill that. I've learned the hard way, never, unless you had a syringe, which I should really get, don't pour the paint, especially when it's a new can, don't pour it out over the label, and don't pour it out over the instructions as well. And so where I've poured it, I've just put 2 little holes in the lip so that it forces all of the paint back down into that area. So the instructions for this, because it's a base coat, was just 1 part thinner, 1 part product. And then of course the clear is 2 parts clear, 1 part hardener, and 15% thinners. And that's a great finish. So we just got to let that dry off now and give that a clear coat. Then I can take all the masking off and then remask it for the next step. Okay, so it's had a good hour or so to dry off. I also had it with a little bit of warm air from the heat gun just to help it along. Okay, so we know that 90 grams of paint covered that nicely. So we're just going to go for it. So this is 2 to 1, 2 parts clear, 1 part hardener. So we're really going to go for we're going to go for 60 grams of clear and 30 grams of hardener. That's it. Okay, so I've just finished painting that dashboard, and so now's the time. Rust repairs. I'm going to take this whole plenum off, take the plenum cover off. So what is involved is removing these braces here, that brace on both sides, and then removing the whole plenum. We've got major problems in here and around this torque box, just rust everywhere, so I'm just going to methodically work through it. I'll show you what I've done. The car's still in the rotisserie, but I've actually lowered it down onto these axle stands, and there's equal weight on either side and at the front and the rear of the rotisserie. The reason for that is that once I start taking all of these brackets and braces off and take the plenum off, this car could potentially sag, being supported at the front and the rear in the rotisserie. It could easily sag, and we don't want that. So I've got the weight onto the axle stands down there, and hopefully that's going to cure the problem. There's a couple of different types of spot weld removers. I'm using this type here. It's a bit rusty. It's got like a little cutting disc, little hacksaw type teeth, and I've had pretty good success with these. I do know that that's a sort of a locating post, but they don't work as well as you'd think. It wants to run off, so Just going to drill just a little pilot for it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one's a little bit hard to get to, but I think I've got deep enough. There doesn't appear to be any more spot welds anywhere, except in here. This looks like it's been actually welded on. Just looking at it, it looks like welding. Not spot welds or whatever they're called. So I'm going to free those up. That one's free, that one's free, that one's half free, and then try and pry this off. So I might just cut that because it's all rotten in there anyway. I might just cut in there and cut that out because I can replace the flap. There's a little flap there. I can replace that. So. Good. Okay. The reason why I'm gonna do this in quite detail for you guys, because a couple of guys really wanted to know what's involved in doing a plenum. So yeah, that's been tacked on with just like a meg or something like that. So 3 sections there, there, and there, and so I'll just grind those off and see if I can just get that off in one piece. That's not too bad.
that. There was one there. Yeah. Just ripped it out, but boy, that was a tricky one to get out. Still, it'll clean up alright. The rust doesn't look too bad, just a bit of surface rust in there. I'll get the grinder on, I'll get the wire brush onto that and POR 15 under it. Well, she's pretty rusty, but man, once you get it all apart, it's not that hard to fix all of that stuff. Yeah, it's just time consuming taking all these bloody spot rivets out, or these pot welds, or fucking whatever they're called, and remaking bits and pieces. Break it down to its individual parts, fix them, and put it back together. Not too bad at all. Anyway, time for some contemplatory alcohol. So a little bit of contamination on this section here, but it's barely noticeable. I don't know how the contamination got there, but if you look here, it's bloody A1. Such a good finish. So just have to do the blackout on it now, and that's it. Well, good morning, guys. Monday morning. It's CFMEU Builders Picnic day, which I don't generally go to. I'm a subcontractor. I don't get paid to go, so I don't really go. Next year I'll go because they actually have a car show every year. So hopefully this car's ready. The problem is you've got to take your kid out of school. It's crazy if you want to take your children, and they encourage that. Anyways, well, you know, most of you know me, I am pro-union, but you know, I'm also pro-education. So yeah, so it's Monday the 3rd of December 2018. So anyways, yeah, we had a great result yesterday with this dash facade. I'm just going to mask it up and do the black on it now. Okay, so we've got it all masked off now, ready for the black. So it's basically black, everything in there. There we go. Okay, so this is all sprayed now. It's come up really, really well. Just that's a ripper colour, that black. It's so easy to spray. I've got to go to Dandenong to pick up some nuts, bolts and screws from Vinnie's. That'll take me about an hour, and in which time I'll come back and I'll whip all this masking tape off. Got like a sticky residue, sort of taking the gloss off the paint, so I'm going to have to let that really, really harden over the next week or two, and maybe just hit it with a little bit of polish, just hand polish, of course. It yeah, needs a little bit of a polish and clean up. So pretty happy with that. Gee, they come up really well. Same story, I polished these up, wire brushed them and polished them, and the result's really cool. Even did things like that, that's for the distributor. So that photo is now gets deleted, and that bag is now back to being complete. 1, 2, 3 washers, the bush, the long bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's it. The 3 washers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gee, they do a good job. This almost looks like chrome. What I also do is on the bag, I've got eight pieces away, I've got my 8 there. Now that the bag's come back, or the pieces have come back, I now cancel that off, because I have looked at bags before and not knowing if I still had pieces away out of that particular bag. I mean, common sense does it if you don't, but I just don't like, because I've got a really terrible memory, I just don't like not knowing. So I'll take a photograph of everything beside the bag, so everything's set out there, and take a photo of the bag and the parts. Okay guys, well we're back onto the Plenum. I've got the dash facade all finished. Just unraveled and unpacked or repacked all of those nuts and bolts. So that's it. Bodywork, and we'll be on the bodywork now for a month, couple of months, getting all this rust done. Yeah, then we'll start to do a bit of primer work. I'm probably going to prime everything that I fix straight off the bat, stop it rusting, and then once all the rust's done in the body, I'm going to do the doors, boot lid, bonnet, pretty much bolt the whole car together. Got to rebuild some hinges, got all the rebuild kits here for the hinges, and yeah, set them up. Got the door rubbers to go on, so that we can set the panels up and do the body work. Anyways, enough talk. I was always worried about this, this bracket here, because I just don't have the gear to get in there. What I might do is just cut it across the set actually, because you have to access the spot welds underneath it. I think I might just cut it through there. If you buy these, they're really cool, but they do wear out. I've sort of rounded off the teeth. I've probably been going a bit hard with that, with the speed. So that just unscrews. Okay, there's a little thread there, and you turn it around and you put your sharp side on. So it's double-ended. You only need to do them up finger tight. To loosen it off, you have to put it in a vise, but don't squeeze too hard because you'll crimp it. Ah, this one's broken. Okay, one there's got a broken too, so I've obviously used it before. So that is a rubbish bin material. I've got a few spares. Nice brand new sharp teeth. You can use a little bit of lubricant on these things if you want, as you're drilling your hole. Oh, big change. So I've got the 4 from underneath. Now there's a couple on the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this bracket off here, and I'm going to cut it off through there. So because I can't get in there with a die grinder, the little Dremel, it just won't handle it. That's big chunky weld in there. I'll just cut it off and weld it on later. Okay, now whenever you're drilling these things out, you're always going to wind up with a volcano of the original steel from the other piece of metal. You have to grind those off, of course, but they act as a really good sort of key or a locator. So when you're going to put it all back together, you just look for them marks, line them all up, and bang, goes back together exactly as it is. So that's the piece I've had to cut. It's not attractive, but nice weld across there. And it's hidden underneath that top cover there. No one's ever going to know. And that saves me about half an hour of trying to grind it off with a Dremel. Just trying to grind that weld off in there, which you can't even get to very well, and it's just, that'd kill that stone in 2 seconds. And anyway. Okay, so that's that side totally stripped. Now all I've got to do is I'll go and I'll turn the video off, no point filming the other side, do the other side, and then I'll come back to you when we go to start drilling out this Plenum cover. Get that off today, and that'll make me sleep well tonight and give me plenty of food for thought. So, alright, so I'll join you probably in an hour or so. Rightio. So, got both sides off.
this side was a little bit more complicated than the other side. There was no extra bracket in that section there because the chamber is actually on the angle, so on the other side there it's quite a bit higher, so they didn't need to put the bracket in there. I was just thinking while I was taking the other side off, you shouldn't really be afraid of attacking your plenum, because even though that looks absolutely frightening, it's not that bad. And I sort of knew this. Plus also the other thing is too that you don't have to really worry about the cosmetics. It's got to be strong, got to be leak proof, and it's all got to be new steel. That's easy. It's never ever going to get seen. And of course I'm going to POR 15 the whole thing. Yeah, so it's not a big job. It's involved, but it's not that big. This side took about an hour to strip. The other side took 20 minutes to strip, mainly because I was, getting quicker at it, better at it. The plenum, I presume, is probably going to take about an hour to get off. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, it's something that you really, you look at that and think, oh my God, but it's easy. It really is. It's a lot easier doing that than, say, patching a door skin or something like that. Because you have to be deadly accurate and you have to watch your heat. Just go for it. So alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start trying to identify a sandbag and find the spot welds. I'm going to start drilling them out.
Okay, well, I've got this set of number plates sale. It's off my XW wagon. It's the Victorian plates, of course. 69 XUU or XW. And they've got the Ford logo as the spacer. Might want to just drop me a message on YouTube. Just going to cut that stuff off. It's all rotten anyway. Just going to cut through there. We're getting loose. We're getting close. Only a fair bit of rebuilding needed on this beast, but it's all easy stuff. Okay. Oh, that's alright. Not much left in the corners. See all those leaves? That's what kills the car. That was all blocked up. Now, the reason for that these leaves are here, firstly is it's the high side, so the water doesn't sort of flush them out. But secondly, the water's really got nowhere to go except down that way. So that's why all those leaves are still there, and they just wash down through there and sit on top of this the sill extension, what they call sill extension.
Yeah, this is great. Now I can get that, like, the little rust holes there. Oh, this is awesome. Easy fix. Easy fix. Yeah. I'm impressed. See, that vent's got a bit of cancer in it. Replace all that. Fix all that up. Make it look all nice so you don't get water dripping down through your vent. Right there. Got a big hole there. Now right here, if you can see that, where that white paint is, or whatever it is, that is the remainder of a little sill extension, like a flange where two pieces sort of meet. And what they do, they go up and they meet like that. Now that's a water pocket. Right behind there is a water pocket. I'm getting rid of all that stuff. I'm going to not do that, because every Falcon I've had, those have been present, and there's rust present all the time. I'd rather a smooth surface where the water just rolls straight off and out. This is great. Well, I can't wait to get into it now. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'll go inside and start editing.